What's up everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm currently in Los Angeles and I thought why not do another morning routine, show you guys exactly what my thought process looks like, what my routine looks like while I'm traveling away from home. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm looking for coming into today in the pre-market, and of course I'm gonna show you guys some live trading as well. I don't get how some of you guys can live on the West Coast and trade. You guys have to wake up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, which is absolutely crazy. Before we get started, I just wanna show you guys the view. Peep this. Pretty cool view that we got here. We're currently staying in Beverly Hills just for the week. We also have our Traders Lab meetup this week as well, which is super exciting. But let's head downstairs and let's hop right into the charts. All right, so I'm heading downstairs. Currently, I'm getting to my trade setup for the day. As you can see, this is my current trade setup. If you guys don't already know, this is my travel setup that I use while I'm traveling away from home. As you can see, I have my MacBook here. I have my screen, my main screen where I have my charts. I have another screen where I have my charts, and of course I have Discord on the left-hand side. I actually have a microphone here, and then of course I execute on my phone, which is currently in my pocket. So this is the trade setup that I currently have. I'm gonna break down exactly what I'm looking for coming into today here in the pre-market. And of course, I'm gonna show you guys the live session that I have for today as well. Okay, so here's my game plan coming into today. Hopefully you guys are able to see this. There is a little bit of glare, but my game plan is coming into today. As you can see, the markets are moving higher. Flat top break on the major indices. What I'll be looking for is to see the reaction that we have off the previous day high key pivot levels. The key levels on the SPY will be your 672.70s and 609 here on the Qs. As for my top watches coming into today, it'll be Tesla and Nvidia. Keep an eye out on Tesla for the hold of your 446 and Nvidia retest off of your previous day high 187. So as you can see, this is the chart here on Nvidia. As you can see, we end up having this big push towards the downside. We kind of consolidated here. We end up dropping here with news, but so far we're showing some buyers stepping in here in the pre-market. If you can get above now, it's going to be this 187. We can be looking for the retest above this level for this continued push towards the upside. This is a more cleaner shot. I sent this into the room. As I mentioned, 187 previous day highs. We can be looking for the break above that for this continued push back towards the highs. Okay, so that's basically my game plan coming into market open today. I'm looking at Tesla and Nvidia. Nvidia primarily going to be for the break above its previous day highs and a retest of that for continuation higher. So now let's hop onto the live session that I have. I'm going to be recording my P&L, my thought process, and just basically my whole rundown on exactly what I'm looking for coming into today and how I execute it in real time. As for Nvidia, I do like this one here as well. It's going to be the break back above your 187. If you can break back above your 187, we could be looking for longs above your previous day highs. Nvidia key level that we're going to keep an eye out on here is going to be your previous day highs. If you can break above your previous day highs, Nvidia is going to be one of my main watches coming to market open here. Back above, now it's going to be your 1 minute opening range. And then even Nvidia, I do like this one. As I mentioned, above your previous day highs is going to be key here for continuation. But let's keep an eye on Nvidia here. Break above this 170, 187.20s here above your previous day highs. I do like this one. As I mentioned, if you can break above this previous day high for a retest. Yeah, key level for me, as I mentioned, Nvidia could be your previous day highs. Let's see if you can close above your previous day highs. That's going to be key here for this ticker. All right, let's keep an eye on Nvidia. If you can close above your previous day highs, I do like this one for continuation. As I mentioned, I'm going to take a look at the 190s here on Nvidia, the 190 calls. Nvidia, I'm actually going to try some of the 190s here on Nvidia. This is more of an aggressive entry, but based off the higher time frames, this one, in my opinion, looks good. If we can break above your previous day highs, I think we can have a bigger push towards the upside here on Nvidia. It's basically your previous day high retest off of this 187. It took some of the 190s here on Nvidia, the 190s. Okay, nice pop here on Nvidia right up into this 188. This is your first key level here. Yep, Nvidia at a key level. Tesla, I like to see kind of start curling here as well. The main thing here is going to be the QQQ. I like to see the Qs above your previous day highs if you want to see continuation here. Yeah, I'd look to take some off. I'm taking my first scales here on Nvidia. up into this 188.50 key level. Yeah, let's see right now, Q's right at your previous day highs currently. NVIDIA came up in towards our key level, 188, basically this 188.30 general area. And then Tesla, let's see if these higher lows are being built. Let's see if we can get that push up in towards your previous day highs here. Yeah, what I like to see here for NVIDIA now is going to be the break above this 188.30s and a break above that and a continuation towards potentially 190. Yep, buyers stepping in here on the Qs. Similar, yep, we should get that pop here with the Qs, Tesla and NVIDIA here. Yeah, really solid push on NVIDIA. Qs trying to get back above here. NVIDIA, another pop as well. Look to take some off as it moves higher. NVIDIA next level that we have now really is going to be technically your Friday's highs, right? Nice push up so far. I talked about wanting to be a little bit more aggressive just because it has a nice higher time frame. We can move back towards the upside. Qs popping here as well should help most of these tickers. NVIDIA pushing up nicely. 189's key. As for the Qs, we'd like to see it get above 5-day here. Since we're above or right at your previous day highs now for NVIDIA, key level for me, down close candle 188. That's the exact level I like to see hold. And then Tesla currently kind of building up these higher lows. I'd just like to see this push up and towards your previous day highs and above. Yep, NVIDIA about to reach 189 here. Next level that I do have is 190, but this is another key level here on NVIDIA. With the Qs, a little bit, it's just kind of right around your previous day highs here for the QQQ. I personally would like to see it above, at least on the 5-minute time frame. Currently, SPY kind of rejecting off of your previous day highs, so I'd be a little bit more cautious on the overall indices. As I mentioned, Qs, you're gonna have to get a 5-minute candle close above your previous day highs here. This is basically exactly where I want to see the buyer step in. NVIDIA right back down in towards that 188 down close candle. And then for Tesla, really, I'd just like to see it kind of build up these higher lows, 450. I'd like to see it kind of move up here now with the overall market, preferably bouncing off key levels of support. Yep, another, basically NVIDIA held the exact level we talked about, 188. Next level that we have 189 coming up, another scale point here, and then 189 is, well, sorry, 189, and then we have basically 190s here on NVIDIA. That's a key level, and then 190s is next. All right, Q still consolidating. NVIDIA trying to curl here. 5-minute, in my opinion, looks really good. Let's see if we can get that push above now. It's going to be this 189. That's going to be key here. You can see markets overall just consolidating in this range. NVIDIA, let's see if we can get that 5-minute break above your 189. If we can do that, potentially 190s is in play here. But we're going to need a 5-minute candle closure above this 189. Okay, today's session ended up being super solid. This was on NVIDIA towards the upside above your previous day highs. I actually ended up making $5,000 on this trade, as you can see right here. That made up majority of my P&L on this day. But basically what I was looking for coming into today was the break above your previous day highs. The reason why I took an aggressive entry, majority of you guys know I trade the break and retest. In this case, I opted in for the break above your previous day highs. And I was a little bit more aggressive is because I wasn't expecting the retest in this case because of the relative strength compared to the Q. So basically my thesis was coming to market open. I already showed you guys my game plan, but it was basically looking for the break above your Monday's highs. If you can break above your Monday's highs, potentially we can see this nice push towards the upside, targeting that 189.90s. But we end up having this nice break above your previous day highs. We had some nice continuation, super solid move on the contracts, end up gravitating up and towards our key levels in this case, which was our 188 and 189. Unfortunately, was not able to get above towards the 190 level, but it ended up being a super solid trade. It's been a little bit of a slower week in the overall market, just a lot of kind of base hits here and there, which is fine because you have to understand when you have high probability setups or when you're just kind of scalping / day trading. I make majority of my money from solid A+ A+ setups where you have continuation, and that's when you're gonna make majority of your money. All right, guys, I just finished up my live trading session for today on NVIDIA, which ended up being a super solid session in the markets. And to even make it better, I actually just received one of the best text messages I've ever received. It was from my father, and I'm gonna pop it up here. Let me actually pull this up. So basically, my father messaged me today, really something special. So this is it right here. I'm gonna pop this up. Hopefully you guys are able to read what he said. A little bit of a backstory here is, I'm not gonna go too in depth, but basically, I grew up in a middle-class family. My parents did a good job raising me and my 2 other siblings. But basically, some things happened, right? We ran a restaurant. We ended up losing majority of our money that we had, and we basically lost everything during COVID. So my parents were struggling, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to trade in to begin with, is because I wanted to help out my parents, just because they basically took care of me while growing up. And the fact that we basically lost everything that we had and what they worked for really pushed me to really try and make trading work. And that's what gave me the why reasoning onto why I wanted to make this work so bad. And basically, a little bit of a rundown is that I've been teaching my dad how to day trade for the past couple of months, and he literally messaged me today that he made over $100,000 in one day, which is absolutely insane. So he ended up taking some AMD calls last week. I was telling him that he should keep an eye out on AMD. I didn't even know he did this, which is absolutely crazy, but he took some AMD calls last week and he ended up swinging them over the weekend. And of course, with AMD having news with OpenAI, this one gapped up about like 30% on the underlying. So the actual options contracts went over 1,000%. So he turned around $5,000, or I think it was like $5,000 to $10,000, into over $150,000, which is absolutely insane. He says right here that the contracts he bought for $3 last week ended up opening up at $54 this morning. And this message right here really just means so much to me because of just basically all the things that my parents went through, and just trying to help support them at least financially. And then even now, like teaching my father to try and become financially independent is like such a skill, and that's what trading can offer. And what I want to say here was that this should be like a sign of motivation that, right, trading can really change your life if you put down your hard work, where you have a solid system and foundation built. It might take 3 to 6 months. It might take a couple years, but generally trading is nothing like anything else, right? It's a skill that once you learn it and master it, right, you can have that skill for a lifetime. It doesn't have to be day trading. It can be learning the financial markets, but being able to navigate the financial markets is a skill you want to learn in order to help you for your financial future. And what I want to mention, that this is a sign to not give up, right? 6 years ago, I was delivering Amazon packages. I was living with my grandparents at the time because I didn't have a place to stay, and I was also in school trying to make trading work, right? It took me years of failing trading, right? Trying to find an edge in the markets. I was failing for years until I was finally able to become a profitable trader, right? It didn't take me, right, a few months, right? Some people might see success. You can make money within a few months, but if you really want to succeed in the markets, it might take a few years, right? There's so much more information now out there, right, where you're able to honestly succeed faster, right? That's a great thing about social media. That's a great thing about YouTube and all the information out there, is that everything is out there for you to learn. You just have to take that information and implement it into your own trading. So don't give up. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm honestly living proof of it. If you guys don't know my trading story, it's just like your guys's. Everyone goes through the same cycles when it comes to trading. I always talk about this, but there's 3 cycles of a profitable trader. Everyone gets hooked into trading, right? Everyone wants to trade for some reason or another, either it be financial, for the freedom. Majority of the times it's based off of money, right? Either you want the cool things, or it's majority of the times for you guys, it's going to be providing for your family. And that was the main drive for me, is that I came into the markets because I wanted to provide for my family for what they did to me. I want to repay back what they did for me growing up. So that was the main thing, what drove me into the markets. But then you realize, right, you get into phase 2, right? Phase 2, the journey of a trader, is that you're going to be stuck in this vicious cycle, right, of ups and downs, right, blowing your accounts, right, that boom and bust cycle that you're going to occur when you are in that stage 2. And that stage 2 is so important that you keep going, right? You find an edge, you find a profitable system, right? It might take some people 3 to 6 months. It might take some people a couple of years. But what you have to understand is that once you find an edge in the markets, all it is just just sticking to your rules and following a system, right? Consistency is what's ultimately going to take you out of phase 2 and into phase 3, which is profitability. And of course, profitability doesn't mean it's going to be very easy, right? Once you cross that profitability line, right, you're still putting on risk, right? You still have mental struggles, you still have drawdown periods, but you already know what you need to do. And that's just sticking to your system and sticking to your edge in the markets and just doing the same things over and over again. And I promise you, if you take a few years and really try and make this work, give it your full 100% effort. And at the end of the day, the number one reason why most people don't succeed in anything is just because they end up giving up. If you don't give up and you keep trying, you're ultimately going to make it. You have to if you keep trying. If you stop, then of course you're going to fail, right? That's why if you keep pushing, you keep trying, right? There's only one outcome that you can possibly have, and that is that you're going to succeed in the long run. But yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to mention. I always like doing these talks every once in a while, but hopefully you guys were able to find some value out of this live trading session, of course, the morning routine, and the story that I had with my father, which is absolutely inspirational. I think you guys should use that as motivation to just show you the power of trading and the power of options as well, especially being able to be in the right opportunities at the right time and being consistent and doing the same things over and over again can genuinely change your life. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. And if you did, I appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub, and I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Peace.